sorry, I accidentally pressed stop. Stop or pause. I accidentally pressed one of them. What was that? What was I saying? What was I saying? Oh yeah. So the fact that there's so many places that I can't really go out to because they're all very, very sensory overwhelming for me, and I probably very, very most likely will have panic attacks or a meltdown at so many public places makes it very hard for people to go out with me anywhere if they want to. So yeah, I feel bad about that, which is also another reason why I don't really date, because I just feel bad about the fact that people may not be able to do. I don't know, I just feel bad. I feel bad about that. And I just have my doubts about whether or not a guy or a girl would still want to hang out with me or do whatever else with me, because in that way I can be such an inconvenience. So yeah, that also puts me off dating. But anyway, I told this guy all of that, and when we were talking over Messenger, he said that he understands, and he said he's fine with that, and he said he'll come up with something that we can do that I'll be comfortable with. And I made a few suggestions, because I didn't want him to do it on his own. I didn't want him to feel like he had to go out of his way to do anything that felt like too much for him. I don't know. I just felt bad for the fact that he had to make all these different plans, because there's so much that I can't do. So yeah, I had a few ideas. I told him fuck, what is wrong with me? I had my ideas. I told him. I relayed my ideas to him. He was like, yep, cool, sweet. The night came. He came over, picked me up. He was very, very sweet, very kind. He brought some flowers over, which was very lovely gesture. And I didn't know what we were doing yet because he never told me. So I was very, very nervous. Very nervous, because I don't like not knowing. I don't like surprises. If I'm going to do anything with anyone, whether it's hanging out or a date or whatever, I have to know what we're doing, because it helps to calm my nerves and my anxiety, and I just feel so much more at ease if I just know what we're doing. But he wouldn't tell me. He was just like, no, I want it to be a surprise. And I was like, no, please tell me. I didn't actually say that, but in my head I was thinking, tell me. But yeah, we were driving, and as we were driving, I started to notice our surroundings, and I started to kind of figure out where we were. And we ended up going to Sunnybank, which for anyone who lives in Brisbane, Sunnybank, at least to me, is like one of the busiest places or suburbs or whatever. It's in Brisbane. Like, it's so busy because it's such a it's a very popular place, especially for people to eat out. There's like this area where there's a bunch of restaurants. I think it's called Sunnybank Square or something. I don't know. But there's tons of restaurants there. All of them mostly Asian restaurants. And I was thinking in my head, I was like, surely we're not going there, because I told him that I don't like places like that. And if we go there, it's going to be a nightmare, and I can't handle it. I can't handle that. I can't handle a place like that. And I thought we had made that clear. between the two of us. But he turned into that area, into, let's just call it Sunnybank Square, where all these restaurants are, and so many people. Such a crowded place. That's where we ended up going. And straight away, I just broke out. Like, I could just feel myself like freaking out straight away. My heart started beating really, really, really fast. I started to feel like I was sweating. I probably wasn't, but I felt like I was. I started to feel really hot and like just like tension. Like there was just a tension all over my body. It was just tension everywhere in my body. And I was just on alert straight away. And we parked and we went to this restaurant called Thai or something like that. I don't know. It was an Asian restaurant or Thai restaurant. And we went inside and it was packed. Like, I'm telling you, there were so many people. Oh, I freaked out. I was like, oh no, please, let's just turn around, let's just leave. Oh my god, I can't think straight. And yeah, we went in, we sat down, and another thing that really, really bothered me is they have these TVs in there that just fucking blare music. Excuse the language. Just blares music. So all I could hear, all I could focus on was this loud music and all these people talking all around us. The bright lights. The fact that we were sitting under bright lights, and we were also sitting under one of the air conditioner vents. So I had the voices of everyone around us, the TV behind us, and the air conditioning to kind of contend with in terms of just trying to hear him over all of that noise. And even though we were sitting like right next to each other or right across from each other, the whole time I could hardly hear a word that he said because I couldn't block out all this background sensory information just coming at me from everywhere. So that annoyed me straight away. I hated it. And I felt like he hadn't listened to me when I told him that I don't like these places. I felt like he just disregarded that because why else would we have gone to a place like that? I don't know. I just felt so annoyed and I could not concentrate on him and I couldn't enjoy myself. Yeah, so that was one kind of bad thing already. After that, I couldn't eat my food either because when I'm feeling uncomfortable and on edge, I don't digest food very well. Plus, I don't like eating in public, which I told him, so that was another thing that I felt like he had ignored. Yeah. After that, we left. And I really wanted to go home after that because I was just feeling really drained and exhausted just from all of that. Just from being in that kind of environment, I was just really tired after that. But then we went to, I think it was Chermside. I don't know. We went to this bowling alley. And I hate bowling alleys. I hate bowling places, whatever they're called. Because you go inside and it's just the most overwhelming place ever for me. Because in this particular bowling alley place, whatever it's called, I don't know what it's called, whatever. In this one, there were like these disco lights. That's kind of how they had it set up. The lights were flashing. So it's just like flashing in your eyes, like right in your face as soon as you walk in. I hated that. It just gave me a huge migraine, and I just felt really like I felt like I was in pain as soon as we walked in. And then we got to how you come up to the lanes or the bowling lanes. Right at the end of the lane, there were these huge screens that were just playing music videos. And if I'm gonna bowl, I don't like looking down the lane, and the first thing you see is this massive screen playing music videos. You know, for me that's distracting. I can't concentrate. So that was very annoying as well. And I was like, why are we here? And the music was so loud. The lights were just so bright. The massive screens at the end of the lanes, you know, all of it. All of it was just too much for me, and it was too intense for me, and I wanted to leave, you know. But he wanted to play, and so I just sat there and didn't say anything because I didn't want to be rude, and I didn't want to sound like I was being demanding, or I didn't want to just come across as petulant, even though that's not my intention. But it was just so painful for me to be there. So, yeah, that really got to me. And then we left, and then after that, this was the weirdest thing. We went to a movie cinema, and he literally like snuck us in there, and I didn't even realize what was happening until we got into the theater, which sounds weird, but I was just so shocked by what was happening and what he was doing, and just thinking, are we literally sneaking in here? Is that what we're doing? Because I feel like that's kind of wrong, and this is so weird. But yeah. He literally like snuck us into the cinema or the theater, whatever, and we got in there, and he sat down in the chairs in the movie, and he literally fell asleep. Like he was just there on the seat next to me. We had snuck into this movie, he sat down, and he fell asleep. And I was like, what the hell? What is going on? And I was like, is this happening right now? I don't know what to do. What do? Do I wake him up? But yeah, he eventually woke up, and then we left, and then finally he just dropped me back home. I like kind of was in shock. Like it was just so much for me to take in afterwards. And so I just went to bed and fell asleep and kind of tried to forget all about it. But yeah, that was the weirdest date, and the first one that I've ever been on. The first date that I've had, and the weirdest. And don't get me wrong, I still think he's a lovely guy, but yeah, I don't think we're compatible. So, and yeah, I was just so like, I could not get over the fact that he fell asleep. Yeah, but that was my first date. I don't know if they're usually supposed to go like that. I hope not. But sorry that this video has been so long. But yeah, I really wanted to I don't know, to really talk about it, I suppose it had to be kind of long. But as an autistic person, I didn't like it. Um, um, just because it felt like he hadn't really put much thought into it, and he didn't really care about all my sensory processing differences, right? Because let's put this in reverse. If I was a guy, or a girl as I am, if I was an autistic and I asked someone out and they told me that they need certain adjustments to be made, I would take that all on board. I think that's just the decent thing to do. I think it's just about being considerate and being a respectful person. And I would do that with anyone. If I really liked someone, and if I wanted them to have a good time with being out with me, I would take all of their concerns on board, and I would do something about it. I think it's just common sense. And I don't think it's much to ask for. Actually, for some people it probably is, but I'm just saying, if it was me and I wasn't autistic, but I liked someone who is autistic, and they told me that they need certain changes or accommodations to be made, I would do that. I would be all over that. I'd be like, great, cool. Let me know what you need done. Let me know what needs to happen here, and I'll make it happen. Because I don't know, I just feel like that's what you do when you like someone, or when you enjoy someone. When you like spending time with a particular person. You make the effort. But, that's just me. So, if other people don't agree, well, okay. But yeah. I have nothing else to say. I'll talk about why I don't date friends, or why I wouldn't consider dating friends, in another video, because this one has gone on for too long now. Bye!